friends, welcome back. Today we are going to be working on the April's Club Couture, and it is all about strawberries. Now, um, you'll see here that I have actually cut the transfer apart. Don't be afraid to do that. I do it all the time to make things easier to work with, and you'll see why I cut all those strawberries apart as we go along through the video. So every month when you get your Club Couture, you get a project piece to go with it, and this is the piece that you get to go with it, and it comes brown. I have just painted it with Fusion Mineral Paint Champness, and we are going to put fresh strawberries on here, and we have a couple different projects we're going to be working with. I've just roughed up my edges a little bit. I just wanted to distress it a little bit more. And at the end, you're going to see how I style everything together. So let's just wax it to help protect our transfer like we always do. Just clear wax. You can use Chalk Couture's clear wax, or I use Behr wax. Fuzz it. I don't have my actual fuzzing cloth handy at the moment, so I just used microfiber. And I'm just using bright white chalk paste as well. Okay, so the frame comes in two pieces, as you've seen already, and it actually comes with these little square glue dots. I've cut them in half, and if there was a few more of them, it would have worked well, but I used the majority on them on the top piece. So you'll see as we keep going here, I just pulled out my Aleene's tacky glue and glued it down and clamped it and let it dry into place. And then you are going to see me come back after, and I'm going to drill some holes in the top because we are going to hang this on a basket that you will see here shortly. Okay, so I bought this basket at Dollarama. It comes in 3 different sizes, and actually this would be really cute on the larger basket. I'm using the medium size basket, and I'm just using some paper wrapped wire, and I've drilled some holes in there. And now I may change how I have the wire on here, but I have an idea. We'll see how it goes when I get all styled up, and I've just curled the ends of the wire there above the sign, but so far it's exactly what has been in my head. Okay, so we have a second project we're going to start working on here, and this is a little piece from the Dollartree. I have just stained it with Salmon Dark Oak. Now I'm using Dixie Belle Crackle, and we're going to apply that all over the little birdhouse here. I even did it on the inside just in case I decided not to fill it with anything. I wanted it to be finished all over. So I've done every square inch of this except for the bottom. We'll just set it aside and let it to dry, and we will come back and finish up. Okay, so our Crackle paint is all dry. We are Now applying our paint in one direction. You don't want to go over it or it will wreck your crackles. I'm using Fusion mineral paint in Casement. You can use any kind of paint for this. And I am just going to put one coat over everything. I didn't get it very thick on the very top there above the butterfly, but it is okay. We're actually going to be covering up this butterfly um, on the front anyways. And so I wasn't really too worried about whether I got good coverage right there or not. All right, so the paint is dry and now I want to distress it just a little bit more. We got some really great crackles, so I'm just using my sanding block and I am really sanding hard on those edges to reveal them a little bit. And I'm even going over the entire surface a little bit. It's pretty hard. It's not, doesn't come off that easy. So if you want it to move, you gotta really hit it with the sanding block. Okay, so we've got our Behr antiquing wax out. We are gonna add a little bit more distressing and make this little bird feeder, birdhouse look a little bit more aged. Normally you'll see me going in with clear wax first, but I am not with this one. I'm just being careful. I'm only doing the edges and I'm taking a paper towel and wiping it back. If I get too much on, then I'm going to hit it with a little bit of the clear wax, and you can also hit it with a little bit of white wax later, as you will see me do. So I am just back and forth, putting it on, wiping some off until I have the desired look that I want. Okay, so I just took a piece of drop cloth and cut a rectangle out with my pinking shears. We are going to use the word fresh off of the same transfer that we've already used. I'm using dusky blue only because I have it and the color is exactly what I want. But if you mix up colonial blue and white about equal parts and add a smidge of black, it is almost a perfect match. If I played with it more, I can come up with a more precise and exact match. But this is what we're going to cover up that butterfly with, and we've got more to do with it in a bit. Okay, so I've just taken some antiquing wax and I am just going over the edges of it a little bit. Got a little heavy in some spots, and that's okay. I went over it with some clear wax. And then I decided that what it actually needed is some white wax, and it is the perfect touch here. So I started hitting it with the small brush, and then I thought, let's just go over the entire thing, and it worked out perfectly. I'm going to use this technique more. So white wax, rubbed it off the words a little bit, and then I just was able to get a softer look with the antiquing wax and a more even look when I was going around. I then took that white wax and some paper towel and just hit my birdhouse in a few spots just to brighten it in a couple places. Okay, and now we are just going to hot glue it in place. So I'm loving how that turned out. So I was thinking I was going to put this raffia bow on and just trim it, but I do change my mind later. So I am just filling it with some Spanish moss right now. And then I am going to grab these strawberries that I've made, and you will see very shortly that how we make them in this video. You're using the other part of the transfer. So I'm just going to pop a couple of those in, and then we are going to finish up this little birdhouse. So this transfer is from the, I just have to grab my transfer here because I keep forgetting the name of it, Spring Postage transfer, and it's got a lot of really great pieces in it. They're going to make really cute tags. So we're going to put strawberries on the bottom. You've seen me use a strawberry one in my last video. I just taped the bottom off of there so that we only get this top part on. Okay, so now that it's done, I still like the raffia bow, but then I remembered I just finished buying this really pretty blue gingham, and I think we're going to use that blue gingham ribbon. So we are hot gluing that on there. And I love it. To me, it's just absolutely perfect. I love it the way it is. Okay, on to the next part of this project. So I found these ceramic berry baskets at Superstore. I know you can get some at Michael's, and I think they're a little bit smaller. Anyways, I am putting the fresh and then the lines around one side of it. And I am only using chalk paste, and there's that color that I actually mixed up, telling you with the Colonial blue and white equal parts with a smidge of black. And like I said, it's just about a perfect match. So we're going to put this on, and we're going to go around the corner of it a little bit. We're going to go let it dry, and then we'll come back and we are going to add the 25 cents a pint onto the other side. So I had to play around with this a little bit. We're going to transfer on the 25 cents a pint first, let that dry, and then we're going to put the 3 shorter lines on the other side, and then we're going to turn the transfer upside down. You'll see all of this, and put the long lines on and wrap it around the edge so it is similar to what we just did on the other side. If I would have knew I was putting the 25 cents pint on there before, I probably would have did my placement of the fresh a little differently to begin with, but I actually really like how this turned out. So I didn't have it all the way rubbed down on the side. I had a couple air bubbles in. It's a little hard when you're going around corners, so it did bleed a little bit, but I just fixed it up with a Q-tip when I was all done. I think this turned out darling. It is so sweet. All right, I took some drop cloth. I painted it with Fusion Mineral Paint Champness. You can use any paint for this. And then I am chalking on my strawberries in bright white. And now you might be wondering why I'm doing this all in blue and white, but I just don't decorate with red, and I'm decorating with blue and white this summer. So I just thought that this would be pretty, and I've seen white strawberries before, so why not? You can do whatever color you want. You'll notice the one didn't transfer that well there. That's okay. I just didn't press hard enough, but I think it adds to it. And if it bleeds through at all, I had that happen to me a couple times. Just took my base coat color and a fine liner and went through and separated it a little bit. Okay, once that's dry, we are going to take and we are going to put on the berry seeds. Okay, once they're dry, just cut them out, giving yourself a wide perimeter around them. Grab some blank drop cloth, and I tried this a few different ways on how to do this, and this is the best way that I came up with, was putting the top one on and then cutting them out together with the pinking shears. It worked out the best way. If you have another way of doing it, fabulous. I would love to hear about it. But with the ways I tried, this worked out the best for me. And then I just am going to use my hot glue gun. A fine tip hot glue gun does work best for this because these are little pieces. And then I just took some some fiberfill and stuffed them and then glued the ends of them together. I think I did a dozen of these strawberries all together. We put 3 of them in the little birdhouse, and then we are going to fill up the little berry basket that we just finished making with the rest of them. Okay, now that we are all done, we are just going to fill up this berry basket. This is shredded wood. You may have seen me use it before. I used to use it in some packaging, and I think it just works really good for filling some of these pieces. So I started putting the strawberries in, and then I thought, oh, I'll just throw a bit of Spanish moss in, help them stand up a little bit. But when I'm all done, I will take photos of how I've styled everything. Thanks for joining me, friends. We'll see you again next time. Bye.